Sometimes you just gotta go with what the conditions are giving you, and today for me is one of those days. We've had 4 or 5 days of pretty significant east winds, and that's raised the water level throughout the marsh here in South Louisiana, and that means redfish are gonna be pushed way back into the ponds. I know that for sure. Now, the most efficient way to target reds when they're back in the ponds is to sight fish. Unfortunately for me, however, sight fishing is not my strong point. For me, I kind of feel like it's Drew Brees running the wing tee or something. I can do it, but other aspects of my game are definitely stronger. But the way to improve at something is to just go out and do it, and that's what I'm gonna do today. As you can tell, it's already daytime. I slept in today to take advantage of that high sun, which should help me to see a few fish. I'm not heading very far. I'm going to an area very close to my house. Doesn't have the best redfish population, but it does have some fish. So hopefully I can run across some and actually see them and put a few in the boat. We'll know in a few minutes. All right, so I've just gotten into my first pond and the water looks pretty good. It's not bad, it's not fantastic. I've fished better. We do have a significant east wind, certainly ruffling up the surface. Gonna make these fish tougher to see. First order of business is to get the cooler up on front of the boat to give me some elevation to help me to see these fish.
I guess you're back. Are you gonna tell me where you went? All the messages I sent with no reply. It's like that.
As I expected, the water is up. You can look out here and see how flooded all this marsh is. We're right about at the peak of the rising tide. It's gonna start falling pretty soon. It's gonna take it a while to fall out though, and it's not gonna fall very far. Tides are really up. This wind is straight out of the east, which raises our water levels. Now, hardcore sight fishermen would say that this water is fine. They'd have a lot of confidence in this water. I don't. I like finding the stuff that is as clear as what comes out of your faucet. And that's around here somewhere. I just need to find it. I'm not gonna give up on this pond yet though. I see a big significant grass patch up ahead. Maybe the water will clear up there. Got some intermittent clouds, but it looks like the sun's about to break free from them. Now, I'm working my way into the wind right now so I can get upwind and be pushed along with the wind on the other side of the pond. I'll have the sun on my back at that point. It should be easier to see some fish.
This episode of Marshman Masson brought to you by Puglia Sporting Goods.
Ooh, there's a red. Where'd you go, dude? Where did you go? There's one. Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh. Oh, nice fish. Boy, is he pretty. Boy, is he beautiful. All right, big boy, come on. Success. First attempt. It's about a 25-inch fish. He's pretty big. Look how he looks in that pretty water. Isn't that awesome? All right, big guy, come on. I'm gonna let you go. You're too big. All right. Success. He had no idea I was here. See how long he is. It's 25 inches. 25 inches. All right, so as you can see, there's a grass mat here, and I came on the back side of it, between the grass and the shoreline. Seems like most of my sight fishing success is in a situation like that. It seems like a lot of times you have just a skinny little channel of slightly deeper water between the grass and the shoreline, and those fish will often stack up in it, or at least run through it. That guy was about 5 or 6 feet from the boat, facing the opposite way, had no idea I was here. I cast past him, bounced it a couple times, and he smoked it. Just awesome, so much fun. Now, you know I'm a fan of my Minn Kota Tarova with spot lock, but doing this, you're really much better off with a power pole, which I don't have. The problem is you typically have your trolling motor so high, because the water's so shallow, that if you walk around the boat, the motor cavitates. It comes out the water, sucks in air, makes a ton of racket, like I just did. Now, although sight fishing is not my A game, I've had the good fortune of fishing with some of the best sight fishermen in the state over the course of my career. So I've learned a lot from those guys, and I really, really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. If you've never done it, I highly recommend it. And you don't really need a specialized boat, just as long as you go in under trolling motor power. Oh, there's a bass. Just kicked up a bass. Go in under trolling motor power, and if you get too shallow, just turn around and head out. And definitely bring an H&H push pole. Very inexpensive, and it can keep you from getting in a lot of trouble. Now, if you're really nervous about it, just fish on a rising tide. You might have to sit for a while in the marsh, but at least eventually you'll be able to get out. Now, my good buddy Jonathan Ryan, who's an excellent sight fisherman, you've seen him in previous Marshman videos. He says a lot of anglers make the mistake of only looking in areas that they can see. He said you really want to look out past where you think you can see, because your eyes will gravitate down to stuff that moves between what you're looking at and the boat. Now, this sight fishing game is a lot like deer hunting. You can have many minutes of boredom while you're just hunting. And if you're not around a school of fish, you're just not going to see anything. Other times you are around fish and they won't eat. But man, it's exciting when you see one, throw to it, watch him flare his gills and suck it in. Feel that hard tap on your bait. It's a lot of fun. Now, I kind of got rim rocked by this grass bed here. I'm going to try and pick a route through it. Oh, big redfish. Oh, it's threw right on his head. That was a bonehead move on my part. I threw right on his head. He kind of moved when I was in mid-cast. I saw him spook. All right, so here's the situation. We came up this ditch and got stuck. It really kind of ends right here. And the ditch is not wide enough for me to turn the boat around. Fortunately, all this grass is flooded. So with my push pole, I should be able to swing the boat around, pushing it over that grass. Gonna take a little bit of effort, but I can definitely make it happen. Piece of cake. See another grass bed up here. It's really matted. Hopefully the water just on side of it is nice and clean, but that's about it for this pond, it looks like. Probably gonna have to move on. Oh, 2 redfish. Two redfish were running with 2 sheephead. Unfortunately, I got too close to the boat before I saw them. This water over here is really stained. Doesn't look nearly as good. No confidence. Time to move. All right, just took a peek at my map. There seems to be another pond off to our west. It looks like it's worthy of checking out. And rather than run there in the shallow water, I'm just gonna fish it, burn this bank with a spinnerbait, see if I can run across something just blind casting. Oh! What the heck were you? What are you? What are you? Redfish. All right, that was literally like my 2nd or 3rd cast. Stay in the boat, Todd. 2nd or 3rd cast with this spinner. I already got one. Another good quality fish. Not nearly as big as the last, but really chunky. Man, it's a fat fish. Wow, that's a fat redfish. Look how fat that fish is. Look at this. What's he got in his belly? He's been chewing. See how long he is. He is 19 inches. I'm not keeping fish today, so I'm gonna let him go. I'm gonna dip back in this little cut right here. It looks pretty choked with grass, but I bet right along this edge it's gonna be beautiful. See if we can surprise one. Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish. There he is. There he is. There he is. Well, I'm glad we came back here. He's about the size of the one we caught on a spinnerbait, maybe a little bigger, 21 inches or so. Settle down, boys, settle down. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Love it. All right, big boy, we'll let you go. Swim off. Good boy. This bait has had it. It's all right. 2 fish and 1 bait, I'll take it.
This episode of Marshman Mass On brought to you by H&H Lure Company. And by Fitzgerald Fishing.
And by Sportsman's Outfitters.
And by Bill Lewis.
And by Death Grip Jig Heads. Now I saw him just as I was sneaking into this little pond. Can't even really call it a pond, it's not too big. But let's get in there and see if they got any more fish. This looks really good. There he is. Oh, he ate my whole. Look at that. He ate the claws. Oh, heartbreaking. I saw him smoke it. I probably set the hook a little soon just because I saw him hit it. He gobbled my claws. Well, unfortunately, the batteries of my trolling motor remote crapped out. I changed them just about 2 weeks ago using the spares that I always bring, and like a knucklehead, I didn't replace the spares. So I have no trolling motor remote batteries on board. So this trip is coming to an end, but I definitely have to rate it a success. I was able to sight cast to several fish, got a bunch of them to bite, and given my sight casting history, I'll definitely take it. I promise I'll be back here again sometime soon doing the same thing. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson.